You know, there's a lot of things in the Sacramento region that we take for granted. One of the biggest I take for granted is water. It comes out of the sink, comes out of the hose, comes out of the sprinkler, comes from the toilet. The City of Sacramento Department of Utilities says that 80% of our drinking water comes from the American River and the Sacramento River. What does it take to bring that water from the river to your tap so that it's safe to drink? We came to the EA Fairbairn Water Treatment Plant to figure out
how things work.
It's a complex process serviced by many hardworking people for this to become this. But it can be simplified into 4 main steps: intake, coagulation and sedimentation, filtration, and chemical treatment. Plant operator Ryan Palmer gave us a tour of the facility to check out each step. It starts with intake. This large structure near Sac State pulls from the American River watershed, which is about 1,900 square miles. 6-ton pump motors suck the water out of the river, and gravity moves it through the rest of the plant. It first heads over to the grit basin, where pre-sedimentation happens. Heavy particles in the water fall to the ground and get swept up by these big rakes. The water shoots through massive pipes like these, where water flow is monitored.
We dose very specific amounts of chemical to make sure that we're getting just the right mix.
The flash mix is where the science gets a little far out, but basically a chemical is being introduced that attaches to the tiny leftover particles that bacteria and viruses like to hide in. The chemical promotes clumping of these particles into bigger floc. That's floc, F-L-O-C.
In simple terms, it's like a little dirt snowflake. It's like little particles that clump together.
It's all about colloidal suspension and charge neutralization, which Ryan told me a lot about and is very interesting, but would be impossible for me to get into in this video. This whole process is coagulation and flocculation. After the chemical is introduced, the water heads to a new basin where it is gently stirred and left to be very still.
We have to be very sensitive to any disturbances in the water, otherwise it'll resuspend.
It takes about 3 hours for the water to get from one end of the basin to the other. Eventually, that nasty floc will get swept up by another big rake. The top layer of water spills into a new channel, and we're headed to filtration, baby. The bottom of these big tanks are filled with a filter media. That's anthracite or hard coal and sand that's been perfectly manufactured to hold on to any leftover particles. Eventually, the filter media gets cleaned in a process called a backwash. Look how dirty it was. Clean water falls through the filter and lands in a chamber underneath, which takes it to its final steps. Then we get chlorination, fluoridation, and corrosion control, and the clean drinking water is pumped through pipes underground. Eventually it lands at your faucet or toilet or wherever. So enjoy a big cup of river water. Just make sure the fine people at our city's water treatment plant saw it first. For Bridge by PBS KVIE, I'm Jordan. And that was
How things work.